Hello students, welcome to my lecture series on quantum mechanics. In the previous session, in WQB approximation, we have completed the condition for WQB validation. So what are the conditions for the validation of the WQB method where we can apply? So we can apply in the places where the potentials are slowly varying in a region up to few lambdas de Broglie wavelengths, or otherwise the condition d by dx of lambda bar is less than 1, where lambda bar is the de Broglie wavelength divided by 2 pi. Okay, so now there are turning points will be there. The turning points will be maybe behaving like a rigid wall, or there may be behaving like a free without any rigid wall. So depending upon that, we have in the turning points a problem of turning points. Let's say if there are two turning points, the cases will be possible something like this: no rigid walls at all. We can think of it as a potential well of without any rigid wall, a single rigid wall, two rigid walls, So three cases will be possible. That means the situation will be somewhat like this. So no rigid wall case. So for example, no rigid wall case. No rigid wall. That means the turning points will be, we can represent like this. At the turning points, the particle can cross the turning point. This is x and v of x. Let's say the potential function may be look like this. Somewhat like this. Let's say this is the energy level E. So definitely these will become the turning points. X1 will be the turning point and x2 will be the turning point. In between x1 and x2 will be the classically allowed region. So this region will be the classically allowed region. This is forbidden region and this is the forbidden regions. Okay. So here at this particular point, we think of like that there is no rigid wall. The particle can quantum mechanically, the particle can move. There is no reflection at all. Okay. So in this case, when we apply the WQB technique and when we take the approximations like that at the turning points, we can take the potential is a straight line whose slope will be is equal to the potential at that particular point. So like that, so already previously discussed. When I apply that, so I'll get a boundary condition. I'll get one important conclusion or one important, what we call that is a quantization rule. I'll get one important quantization rule. What is that important quantization rule will be? That important quantization rule will lead after calculation of that entire thing, that is x1 to x2. Momentum p of x dx will be is equal to n plus 1 by 2 into pi h cross, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. This quantization rule will get, this is a very important quantization rule. So whenever the situation will be like this. Okay, the same thing we can represent in another manner. So for example, the same thing will be for a complete loop, p of x dx will be is equal to twice it will become, but h cross is equal to h by 2 pi. So as it will become twice, this is the 2 times of that, 2 will cancel, pi will cancel, only h will be remaining, that is n plus half h with n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, this is with no rigid wall. So the second case that we can think of, so that means, so remember here it is a p of x means, the p of x means here, that is very well known for us, that is square root of 2m into energy minus v of x. Okay, that's what is important. Okay, fine. So the second one will be one rigid wall. So one single rigid wall. So in that case, single rigid wall. Single rigid wall. When there is a turning point, one turning point, we can think of there is a rigid wall is present. Let's say I have a graph of x versus vx graph. I have the situation will be like this. Let's say think of this is the rigid wall. Think of rigid wall. So there may be a turning point. Let's say this is the, so this is the another point will be here, some x2, and this is maybe some x1. Here is the rigid wall is present. This is the rigid wall. That means there is no particle in this region at all. This is the region 1 you can call, and this is the region 2 you can call, and this is the region 3 you can call. The wave function in the region 1 will be 0. That means that is the infinite potential wall. So the particle will not appear here. It is not a finite, it is infinite potential wave. Okay. So in this case, what type of quantization rule will lead to us? The type of quantization rule will lead to us here. So quantization rule. The quantization rule will come here, will be integration x1 to x2, p of x dx will become n plus 3 by 4 pi h cross. N is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay. This is the quantization. Okay. x1 to x2 p of x dx is n plus pi h cross. So where n is equal to 0 1. So be careful here in the previous case x1 to x2 only half is coming. Here it is 3 by 4 is coming. When there is no wall only 1 by 2. When there is a wall it is 3 by 4. So what about when there existed two walls? When existed two rigid walls, single rigid wall and two rigid walls. And there is a case of two rigid walls. Two rigid walls. So that means you can think of like this. There is a graph of x versus v of x graph. Then think of I have the two walls. Let's say this itself is a one wall. So x1 here, x2 here. These are the rigid walls. So Now the particle is supposed to move here only. The particle is moving in this region. So let's say energy we can take is of E. Energy will be E. So this is the region 1, the particle will not present here. This is the region 2, the particle confined to here, and this is the region 3. Okay. So here what is the quantization rule that will lead here? Quantization rule. It is a think of like infinite potential well. The problem of infinite potential well. So the quantization rule will come out to be here. Integration of x1 to x2 p of x dx will be is equal to n plus 1 pi h cross with n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Or you can write the same thing. Yeah, leave it like this only. So you can write the same thing will be like this. It is integration from x1 to x2 p of x dx will be is equal to n pi h cross with n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So both are same. The only thing is where in the first case n is starting from 0 and ending at 1, 2, 3. Starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and ending somewhere. And in the second case it is starting from not from 0 actually. I wrote here from 1 it is supposed to start. It is starting from n is equal to 1. Okay. So that is the difference. But both are same. Okay. Fine. So there are the three cases. The three cases we have discussed very clearly. Now, this WKB method will be helpful for us to study the tunneling through a potential barrier. So when there is a potential barrier, then this technique will help us to calculate the transition probabilities. That is the probability for transmission, the transmission coefficient that we have already discussed, and the one-dimensional potential problems that we have already done. Yeah. See, there is a theory to derive all these things. There is a connection formulas will be there. So there is a connection formula from region 1 wave function to region 2 wave function. Similarly, there is a connection formula from region 2 to region 3. Okay. So we will apply the WKB technique. What is the WKB technique? We will expand V of x near the turning points. So and we will take up to the first order. Then we will ignore the higher orders. Let us take that V of x and substitute in the standard differential equation of, that is Schrodinger wave equation, and try to solve that. That will get the Airy functions, that involves Airy functions. Okay, that all the things I am avoiding here. Then simply finally writing that all the things will lead to the some quantization rules. So these are the quantization rules that you need to remember. Okay, fine. So now we'll discuss the important problem, that is the tunneling effect. Tunneling through a potential barrier. Tunneling through a potential barrier. Tunneling through a potential barrier. Okay, fine. So what is this tunneling effect? This is very important. That's like alpha decay. The particle will be tunneling. Alpha particle will be coming out from the uranium nucleus. Then that is known as the tunneling. There is a transition probability in each collision. That we are supposed to calculate here. That is the aim of this topic also. Yeah. So let us take the situation will be looking like that. So I am taking a graph of V versus X graph, may be like this. This is the X and this will be the V of X, the graph of A. So let's say the curve maybe looks like this. The curve maybe looks like this. Let's say this is the first turning point known as X1. Next turning point is known as X2. Okay, there is energy level, we call it as an E. Okay, so there are three regions will be there. This is the region 1, and this is the region 2, and this is the region 3. So logically classical allowed region will be in between 1 and 2. Okay, so there is a potential barrier. The potential will be slowly varying potentials. We have already assumed the potentials will be slowly varying potentials. So now consider the motion of a particle whose momentum will be like energy is E, that is momentum is equal to square root of 2mE. Let us assume that particle incident from left side. So from this side the particles will be entering here in the region 1. So but they have the energies which will be less than that of E. And a potential barrier to potential energy suppose 100 electron volts ankondi, but the kinetic energy only 70 electron volts. So they cannot pass through it, but they are keep on making a collision with them. So some of the particles are incident here in the region 1, and there is like a probability to transmission, that there is a probability for the reflection, that we will do now here. So that is the tunneling, and particles annave ikkada incident avutunnayi. So this is the region, in this region they are incident here. So that means we can understand like this. This is the location x1 where the particle is entering, and this is the location x2 . So now the particle in the region 1, it start hitting. The particles are incident here, and some of the particles will be reflected back, some of the particles will be transmitted here. We call this will be the incident particle, and this we call this the reflected particle, and we call this will be the transmitted particle. Okay, just name the regions will be 1, 2, 3 as already given. Let's say the particles will be incident here. They have the energies will be less than that of the maximum potential energy of the barrier. So the situation I am taking will be like this. So there is a particle whose energy will be less than that of maximum potential energy. So that means it is carrying a momentum P naught will be is equal to square root of 2mE. This is the incident photon. That is incident particle, incident particle momentum. This is the incident particle. Now we need to write the wave functions in the region 1, region 2, region 3. So okay, let us write the wave functions in the region 1 and region 2, how it looks like. So in the region 1 there is incident as well as reflected. In the region 3 only transmitted. But in region 2, that is the classically forbidden region, that will be given by the WKB approximation. Okay, that is psi1 is easy. That is, it consists of incident plus reflected. Incident as well as reflected. That is, we can write psi1 of x will be is equal to a into e power I p naught x by h cross plus b into e power minus I p naught x by h cross. This is the self-explanatory. You no need any explanation here. So incident wave going towards right and reflected wave going towards left. Both will be having the same momentum p naught. So there is no potential energy at all in the region 1. In the region 2 also, the region 3 also there is no potential energy. That's why momentum is p naught square root of simply 2mE. Okay. So but in region 3 also that is similar. That means a particle can tunnel from the region 1. అంటే region 1 లో ఇన్సిడెంట్ అయి 3 కి రావచ్చు, లేదా 3 లో ఇన్సిడెంట్ అయి 1 కి రావచ్చు. రెండు ఒకటే. So okay, fine. So what about in the region 3? That is the easiest job. We can write the transmitted wave. So that is C3x will be is equal to, so let's say for example C and D I am giving for the second region. So third region E I will take directly, or otherwise F. There may be F I am taking, because you may be confused with energy. I am taking F. that is E into I P naught x upon h crot. Let us take this is 2. So in the region 2, that is the classically forbidden region, psi 2x, that we need to calculate it. This is the classically forbidden region, but quantum mechanically there is a classically forbidden region, but quantum mechanical there is a possibility. So in the classically forbidden region, the momentum will be obviously, as energy will be less than that of P of x. So this gives momentum P of x will be is of an imaginary. So that is momentum P of x will be is equal to, I can write, that is I into square root of 2m into V minus E. So we can write the wave function will be here like this. Psi 2x will be is equal to C by square root of modulus of P of x exponential minus 1 by h cross x1 to x modulus of Px prime dx prime plus d divided by modulus of P of x exponential 1 by h cut x1 to x modulus of Px prime dx prime. Now if you notice clearly here, this is the term of exponentially decreasing, exponential decay, and this is the term exponentially increasing. Exponential growth type, but obviously this is unphysical, so we ignore this. So this is the physically accepted, so that is a rejected solution. The particle, the probabilities like the amplitude d cannot grow here, that there is a decay. So that means psi 2 will be in the second region, the wave function must be looks like this. Psi 2x must be is equal to C divided by square root of modulus of P of x into exponential minus 1 by h cut x1 to x modulus of Px prime dx prime. Okay, you can name it as an equation 3. You can name it as an equation 2 is over, then make it as an equation 3. Equation 3. So what is our aim here? We need to calculate the transmission probability, correct? The probability of transmission. The probability of transmission. We need to calculate the probability of transmission, that is T. So transmission ante region 3 like వెళ్ళేది. So region 3 లో మనకి ఏముంది, the coefficient will be in the region 3, the coefficient will be E. Region 3 లో ఏముంది, F. The region 3 F, that is velocity of the particle in the transmitted region multiplied wave in the region 3 divided by velocity in the incident medium psi in the incident medium whole square. 3 is the in the third region which has a like this, but both the regions are same. Velocity in the transmitted region is same as that of velocity in the incident medium, velocity of the particle. Both are having the same momentum. So T will become psi 3 square, that is F square, divided by psi 1 square, that is A square. That incident only we require. So this is same as that of F star F divided by A star A. This is our aim to calculate. you can call this is the equation 4. You can call this is the equation 4. Okay, fine. Now here f in terms of a రాయగలగాలి. we need to express f in terms of a. We need to express f in terms of a. So దీనికి మనం కొన్ని కండిషన్స్ యూజ్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. The wave function must be continuous and differentiable at the turning points x1 and x2. Okay. Continuity and differentiability at x1 and x2. Okay na? So first at x1 we write the condition of continuity and differentiability. Continuity. So what is the continuity means? So psi 1 of x1 will be is equal to psi 2 of x1. At 1 there is a 1 and 2. Okay. So now with this condition what I'll get? A into e power I p naught x by h cret, that is x1 by p naught x1 whole divided by h cut plus b into e power minus I p naught x1 by h cut will be is equal to c by square root of a1. Okay, I'll write what is that a1 and a2. Continuity. So equation number ఏమిద్దాం ఇక్కడ 4 అయింది కదా. ఇక్కడ a1 ఏంటో చెప్తా. This a1 will be is equal to I into square root of 2m v at x1 minus e, potential at the turning point. So this is the continuity. Then what about the differentiability? You can call this is the equation number 5. What about the condition for differentiability? Psi 1 prime x1 will be is equal to psi 2 prime x2. డిఫరెన్షియేషన్ చేసిన తర్వాత మనకి ఏమొచ్చింది? సో ఆల్రెడీ మనకు తెలుసు psi 1 psi 2 సో and I'll substitute here I by h cut. So p naught into a e power I p naught x1 by h cut minus b into e power minus I p naught x2 x1 sorry. So all are x1 only at x1. x1 divided by h cut is equal to minus a1 c divided by h cut root a1. You can call this is 6. Okay. So this is at x1. Similarly at x2, two turning points are there. At x2, continuity and differentiability at x2. Continuity. So continuity ante 2 దగ్గర ఏముంటాయి? లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఏమో psi 2 ఉంటుంది, రైట్ సైడ్ ఏమో psi 3 ఉంటుంది. psi 2 is equal to psi 3 x2. This is the continuity. So that I'll get as c divided by square root of a2 exponential, there is an integration, minus 1 by h cut x1 to x2 modulus of p of x dx is equal to f into e power I p naught x2 by h cut. This is the 7. So what about the differentiability will be? Differentiability will be psi 2 prime x2 will be is equal to psi 3 prime x2 so minus a2 by h cut root a2 c into exponential minus 1 by h cut, that is x1 to x2 modulus of p of x dx, that is equal to I p naught by h cut f into e power I p naught x2 by h cut. So let us take this an equation 8. I'll write what is a2 here. What is a2 here? Just like in the previous case a1, here a2 will be is equal to, here a2 will be at x2 I into square root of 2m into v of x2 minus e. Okay. Now we need to solve 5, 6, there is 5, 6, 7 and 8. Solve 5, 6, 7 and 8 and determine the E in terms of A. So when we determine after solving equations 5, 6, 7 and 8, we'll get E in terms of A. We will get E in terms of E by A, that will be is equal to 2 by 1 minus A1 divided by I p naught square root of A1 by A2 e power I p naught x1 minus x2 by h cut. Then even another term, exponential term is there. Exponential minus 1 by h cut x1 to x2 modulus of p of x into dx. Okay. Call this is an equation 9. Now the transmission probability. T is equal to E by A star, that is complex conjugate, E by A. Replace I with minus A. Then what I'll get? After simplification we'll get T will be is equal to 4 divided by A2 by A1 plus A1 A2 divided by P naught square into exponential minus 2 by h cut x1 to x2 modulus of P of x dx. This is the exact answer. We know that where is A1 and A2 and all those things we know. Okay. So this can be approximately written as T is equal to e power minus 2 gamma, where gamma is equal to 1 by h cut x1 x2 square root of 2m into v minus e, remember v as a function of x, into dx. This is the thing we supposed to remember. Approximately e power gamma. What is the gamma here? Gamma will be is equal to 1 by h cross x1 to x2 square root of 2m, that is a momentum, multiplied by length, that is area. Momentum multiplied by length. Okay, this gamma is just number. Okay, so this is the equation number 9 is over. Then you can take it as an equation number 10 or 11 you wish. This is the equation, of course this is the equation 10 you can give. This is the equation 11 we supposed to remember. Okay, so అంటే మనకి ఎక్కడైనా ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ ప్రాబబిలిటీ కనుక్కోండి అంటే క్లాసికల్లీ ఫర్బిడెన్ రీజన్ దాటి పార్టికల్ వెళ్ళాలి. అంటే యాక్చువల్గా పార్టికల్ వెళ్ళలేదు అక్కడ, క్లాసికల్లీ ఫర్బిడెన్ రీజన్ దాటిపోవాలి అని. అంటే మనకి ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కోల్డ్ ఎమిషన్ అంటారు. కోల్డ్ ఎమిషన్ అంటే సపోజ్ మనకు ఒక మెటల్ ఉంది, ఫ్రీ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఆర్ అవైలబుల్, కానీ అవి బయటికి రావు. వెన్ వీ నీడ్ టు సప్లై ద ఎనర్జీ దట్ ఈస్ ఈక్వల్ టు వర్క్ ఫంక్షన్ ఆఫ్ దట్ మెటల్. సో ఫోటో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఎఫెక్ట్ లో గానీ థర్మల్ ఎమిషన్ గానీ ఇలాగే జరుగుతుంది. సో వెన్ ఎ మెటల్ ఈస్ సబ్జెక్టెడ్ టు అన్ ఎక్స్టర్నల్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్, electrons can be emitted from that metal, that is known as a cold emission. అంటే there is a classical గా దాన్ని ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయలేం మనం, there is a quantum mechanical possibility. సో అలాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇన్ radioactivity, the alpha decay process లో, so that alpha particle will come out from the uranium nucleus, that also we can be treated as a, that is a probability of like a transmission probabilities ఉపయోగించి ఈ ఫామ్ లో ఉపయోగించి మన ట్రాన్సిషన్ ప్రాబబిలిటీస్ ని కనుక్కోవచ్చు అన్నట్టు. దిస్ ఆర్ ద జనరల్లీ ఫిజిక్స్ లో మనకు బాగా వచ్చే సిచ్యువేషన్స్. ఓకే, సో లెట్ us see that problem of like cold emission కాదు కానీ then we'll take there is Coulomb potential. Then example for the Coulomb potential తీసుకుందాం. ఓకే, ఆల్ఫా డికే వీటన్నిటిలో ఇదే మనకు జనరల్ గా మనం వాడుతున్నాం. ఓకే ఫైన్, దిస్ ఇస్ ద ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ ప్రాబబిలిటీ. ఈ కోఎఫిషియంట్ మీకు చాలా అవసరం, ఈ డెరివేషన్ నేర్చుకోండి. ఈవెన్ ఫర్ యువర్ యూనివర్సిటీ ఎగ్జామ్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ ఆల్సో దిస్ డెరివేషన్ ఈస్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ ప్రాబబిలిటీ, దిస్ ద టన్నలింగ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ అంటాము. Tunneling to a potential barrier, that is alpha particle decay is the best example like that. Okay fine. Okay fine, now so let us take an example to support this theory. I'm taking an example here. So I'm taking R V of R. Okay, so graph ఇలా ఉందనుకుందాం. Let's say this is the point I am taking. The particle energy will be E. This is the R equal to A. That is the where the potential energy is equal to A. That is R is equal to A. This is the R is equal to infinity నుంచి వస్తుంది అనుకుందాం. This is the R is equal to 0 అనుకుందాం. So the particle will be coming towards the nucleus. So this is the example of Coulomb barrier తీసుకున్నాం. Coulomb barrier problem. అంటే దాని మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే there is a nucleus. There is a nucleus. So let us say for example nucleus rest లో ఉంది అనుకున్నాం. There is a particle so called as of mass m going towards the nucleus. It has a charge E called proton. Proton అనుకుందాం. So it's going from infinity. It's going from infinity. అలా దాని దగ్గరకు పోతూ ఉంది. దగ్గరకు పోతుంటే there is a situation just like there is, it may reach a point where is equal to r equal to a, there the potential energy of the particle will be is equal to kinetic energy. That means the momentum will become zero. Momentum becomes zero means the classically turning point. This is the classically turning point. Of course, this is the r is equal to 0. The graph will be shown here. That Coulomb formula will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. That is nuclear charge is Ze, electron charge is E by r square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r. So the particle is coming with an energy E. Then what is the transmission probability? అంటే అలా లోపల దూసుకెళ్ళడానికి ఎంత ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ ప్రాబబిలిటీ ఉంది? సో x1 టర్నింగ్ పాయింట్స్ మనం ఇలా చెప్పొచ్చు. వాట్ ఇస్ ద టర్నింగ్ పాయింట్స్ అన్న దానికి. సో వన్ టర్నింగ్ పాయింట్ యూ టేక్ అట్ ఇన్ఫినిటీ, another turning point you take at, so one turning point will be, so it can like, so one will be at x1 is equal to a, where the momentum will be 0. Then where is another location it can have the momentum will be 0. Let us take another one will be some x2 is equal to 0, another location where it can have. So when it reaches to r is equal to 0, this location, then again it will be something here. Okay, now if we integrate here, the transmission probability will be is equal to e power minus 2 gamma, that is t will be is equal to exponential minus 2 by h cross x1 to x2 square root of 2m into v minus e dr. Okay, so turning point x1 is 0, x1 is a, t is equal to exponential minus 2 by h cut, x1 is a, x2 is 0, that is square root of 2m into potential energy will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught z e square divided by r minus e into dr. Okay, so the turning point can be calculated easily, where the potential energy will be is equal to total energy. Potential energy, that is Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught a is equal to E. So from here I can calculate the A will be is equal to Ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught E. So now you integrate this. So మనకు integrate చేసి చేయొచ్చు ప్రాబ్లమ్. సో obviously this integration certainly not that much easy. There is an integration will be something, there is a formula will come as here 0 to 1. The integration, complex integration, contour integration what also వస్తుంది 1 by x minus 1 dx will be is equal to pi by 2. Okay, so after all that we'll get an expression for that. The transmission probabilities వస్తాయి మనకు. We'll get after simplification. After simplification, the transmission probability will be exponential minus Ze square pi divided by h cut 4 pi epsilon naught, pi కావాలంటే cancel చేసుకోండి, that will be is equal to square root of 2m divided by e. Suppose generally we represent in terms of 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 1 తీసుకొని represent చేస్తుంటాం. If I take 4 pi epsilon naught will be 1 units, then this transition probability will become exponential minus Ze square pi divided by Ze square pi divided by h cut, that is equal to square root of 2m by e. So by taking Ze 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal. Okay, this is the transition probability. Okay, so మనకి ఇప్పుడు ఎలక్ట్రాన్ యొక్క ఎనర్జీ తెలిస్తే దాన్ని బట్టి మనం కనుక్కోవచ్చు అన్నట్టు ఎంత దూరం వెళ్తుంది, వాట్ ఇస్ ద ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ ప్రాబబిలిటీ అని, డిపెండింగ్ అపాన్ ద ఎనర్జీ ఆఫ్ దట్. ఓకే ఫైన్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ యాక్చువల్లీ ద WKB అప్రాక్సిమేషన్ టెక్నిక్. WKB మెథడ్ ఉపయోగించి మనం ఆల్ఫా డికే, ద టన్నలింగ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ కూడా మనం చూసాం. We have calculated the transmission probabilities also. Okay, so this enough regarding that WKB approximation. ఆ జనరల్ థియరీ ఏంటి అనేది మనం మొత్తం చూసాం. 1 డైమెన్షనల్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ లో ఎలా సాల్వ్ చేయాలి, సో టన్నలింగ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకున్నాం. ఒక 3 క్వాంటైజేషన్ రూల్స్ కూడా మనకు వచ్చాయి. సో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బి ఇంపార్టెంట్ హియర్. ఓకే ఫైన్. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ దిస్ సెషన్. In the next session, we will continue the time-dependent perturbation theory, transition probabilities, sudden and adiabatic expansions. Those we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.